Okay, I think I'm good with the sound. Let's see if we can do this.
Don't mind me, y'all.
I can't take anything serious right now.
I'm sorry, baby.
It's okay. Where are you going?
I'm just putting some things up. I was just laying right here relaxing.
Yeah, don't mind this thing behind me. Just focus on me. Whatever you see behind me, just ignore it. We'll be starting on the trials of Apollo, the hidden oracle. Chapter 1. Hoodlums punch my face. I wouldn't smite them if I could. Mortality blows. My name is Apollo. I used to be a god. In my 4,612 years, I have done many things. I inflicted a plague on the Greeks who besieged Troy. I blessed Babe Ruth with 3 home runs in the game 4 of the 1926 World Series. I visit my wrath upon Britney Spears at the 2007 MTV Music Awards, Video Music Awards. But in all my mortality life, I never before crash landed in a dumpster. And I'm not even sure how it happened. I simply woke up falling. Skyscraper spiral in and out of view. Flames steamed off my body. I try to fly. I try to change into a cloud or teleport across the world or do 100 other things that should have been easy for me, but I just keep falling. I plunge into a narrow canyon between two buildings and bam. Is anything sadder than the sound of a god hitting a pile of garbage bags? I lay groaning and aching in the open dumpster. My nostrils burn with the stench of radic rancid bologna and used
Rancid.
rancid
Rancid.
rancid bologna and used diapers. My ribs felt broken, though that shouldn't have been possible. My mind stewed in confusion, but one memory floated to the surface, the voice of my father, Zeus. Your fault, your punishment. I realized what had happened to me, and I sobbed in despair. Even for a god of poetry such as myself, it is difficult to describe how I felt. How could you, a mere mortal, possibly understand? Imagine being stripped of your clothes, then blasted with a fire hose in front of a laughing crowd. Imagine the ice cold water filling your mouth and lungs, the pressure bruising your skin, turning your joints to putty. Imagine feeling helpless, ashamed, completely vulnerable, publicly and brutally stripped of everything that makes you you. My human was worse than that. Your fault, Zeus. Zeus's voice rang in my head. No, I cried miserably. No, it wasn't. Please. Nobody answered. On the other side of me, rusty fire escaped zigzagged up brick walls. Above the winter sky was gray and unforgiving. I tried to remember the details of my sentencing. Had my father told me how long this punishment would last? What was I supposed to do to regain his favor? My memory was too fuzzy. I could barely recall what Zeus looked like, how much less why he decided to toss me to earth. There had been a war with the giants, I thought. The gods had been caught off guard, and barons almost defeated. The only thing I knew for certain my punishment was unfair. Zeus needed someone to blame, so of course he picked the most handsomest, most talented, most popular god in the pantheon, me. I lay in the garbage, staring at the lid inside the dumpster lid for a pickup call 1555 Stingy. Zeus will reconsider, I told myself. He was just trying to scare me. Any moment he will yank me back to Olympus and let me off with a woman. Off with a woman. Yes, my voice sounded hollow and dispersed. Desperate. Yes, that's it. I tried to move. I wanted to be on my feet when Zeus came to apologize. My ribs throbbed. My stomach clenched. I called the realm of the dumpster and managed to drag myself over the side. I toppled out and landed on my shoulder, which made a cracking sound against the asphalt. Arrgh. I whimpered through the pain. Stand up, stand up. Getting up to my feet was not easy. My head was spinning. I almost passed out from the effort. I stood in a dead-end alley about 50 feet away. The only exit opened onto a street with grimy storefronts for a bail bondsman office and a pawn shop. I was somewhere on the west side of Manhattan, I guess, or perhaps Crown Heights in Brooklyn. Zeus must have been really angry with me. I inspected my new body. I apparently appeared to be a teenage Caucasian male, clad in sneakers, blue jeans, and a green polo shirt. How utterly dread! I felt sick, weak, and so human. I will never understand how you mortals tolerate it. You live your entire life trapped in a sack of meat, unable to enjoy simple pleasures like changing into a hummingbird or dissolving into pure light. And now, heavens help me, I was one of you, just another meat sack. Who was that?
Don't know. I don't want to be bothered by the phone right now.
I fumbled through my pants pockets, hoping I still had the keys to my sunshine. No such luck. I found a cheap nylon wallet containing $100 in American currency, lunch money for my first day as a mortal, perhaps, along with a New York State junior driver's license featuring a photo of a dorky, curly head teen who could possibly be me with the name Lester Pa Papadopoulos. The cruelty of Zeus who knew no bounds. I peered into the dumpster, holding my bow and quiver, and Laura might have fallen to earth with me. I would have settled for my harmonica. There was nothing. I took up a I took a deep breath. Cheer up, I told myself. I must have retained some of my godly abilities. Matters could be worse. A raspy voice called, "Hey, Cad, take a look at this loser." Blocking the alley's exit were two young men, one squat and platinum blonde, the other tall and redheaded. Both wore oversized hoodies and baggy pants. Serpentine tattooed design covered their necks. All they were missing were the words "I'm a thug" printed in large letters across their foreheads. The redhead zeroed in on my wallet in my hand. "Now be nice, Mickey. This guy looks friendly enough." He grinned and pulled a hunting knife from his belt. "In fact, I bet he wants to give us all his money." I blame my distortion for what happened next. I knew my immortality had been stripped away, but I still considered myself the Almighty Apollo. One cannot change one's way of thinking as easily as one might say, turn into a snow leopard. Also, on previous occasions when Zeus had punished me by making me immortal, yes, it happened twice before. I had retained massive strength and at least some of my godly powers. I assumed the same would be true now. I was not going to allow two young mortal ruffians to take Lester Papadopoulos' wallet. I stood up straight, hoping Cat and Mickey would be imitated by my real bearing, regal bearing, and divine beauty. Surely those qualities could not be taken from me, no matter what my driver's license photo looked like. I ignored the warm dumpster juice trickling down my neck. I'm Apollo, I announced. You mortals have three choices. Offer me tribute, flee, or be destroyed. I wanted my words to echo through the alley, shake the towers of New York City, of New York, and cause the skies to rain smoke and ruin. None of that happened. One on the word destroy, my voice squeaked. The headed Kai grinned even wider. I thought how amusing it would be if I could make the snake tattoos around his neck come alive and strangle him to death. What do you think, Mickey? He asked his friend. Should we give this guy tribute? Mickey scrolled with his bristly blonde hair, his cruel small eyes, and his thick frame. He reminded me of the notorious Saw that terrorized the village of Communion back in the good old days. Not feeling the tribute card, his voice sounded like he's been eating cigarettes. What are the other trolls fleeing? Said Kai. Nah, said Mickey. Being destroyed. Mickey snored. How about we destroy him instead? Mickey clapped his knife, flipped his knife, and caught it by the handle. I can live with that after you. I slipped the wallet back into my back pocket. I raised my fist. I did not like the idea of flattering mortals into flesh waffles, but I was sure I could do it. Even in my weakened state, I would be far stronger than any human. I warn you, I said. My powers are far beyond your comprehension. Mickey cracked his knuckles. Uh-huh. He lumbered forward. As soon as he was in range, I struck. I put all my wrath into that punch. It should have been enough to evaporate Mickey and leave a thug shaped impression on the asphalt. Instead, he ducked, which I found quite annoying. I stumbled forward. I have to say that when Patronus fashioned you humans out of clay, he did a shabby job. Prometheus fashioned you humans out of clay, he did a shabby job. Mortal legs are clumsy. I try to comprehend, drawing my boundless reverses of ability, but Mickey kicked me in the back. I fell on my divine face. My nostrils inflated like airbags. My ears popped. The taste of copper filled my mouth. I rolled over, groaning, and found the two blurry thugs staring down at me. Mickey, said Kai, are you comprehending this guy's power? Nah, said Mickey. I'm not comprehending it. Fools, I croaked, I will destroy you. Yeah, sure. Kai tossed away his knife, but first I think we'll stomp you. Kai raised his boots over my face, and the world went black. 2. Chapter 2. I had not been stomped so badly since my guitar contest against Chuck Berry in 1957. As Cotton Monkey kicked me, I crawled into a ball, trying to protect my ribs and head. The pain was intolerable. I retracted and shuddered. I blacked out and came to my vision swimming with red splotches. When my attackers got tired of kicking me, they hit me on over the head with a bag of garbage, which burst. At least they stepped away, breathing heavily. Rough hands patted me down and took my wallet. Looky here, said Caddy. Some cash and an ID for Lester Papadopoulos. Mickey laughed. Lester? That's even worse than Apollo. I touched my nose, which felt roughly the size and texture of a water-bed mattress. My fingers came away glistening red. Blood, I muttered. That's not possible. It was very possible, Lester. God crouched next to me, and there might be blood in your near future. You want to explain why don't you have a credit card or a phone? I have to. I hate to think I did all that stuff just for merely $100. I stared at the blood on my fingers. I was a god. I did not have blood. Even when I'd been turned immortal before, golden it just still ran through my veins. I had never been before so converted. It must be a mistake, a trick, something. I tried to sit up. My hands felt like a banana peel. I fell again. My tigers howled in delight. I love this guy, Mickey said. Yeah, but the boss told us he'd be loaded. Kai complained. Boss, I'm on boss. That's right, Lester. Kai flicked a finger against the side of my head. Go to the alley, the boss said. Easy score. He said we should rough you up, take whatever you had, but this, he waved the cash under my nose, this isn't much of a payday. Despite my predicament, I felt sure of hopelessness. If these thugs have been sent here to find me, their boss must be a god. No mortal would have known I would fall to the earth in this spot. Perhaps Khan and Mickey were not human either. Perhaps they were cleverly disguised masters of spirits. At least that would explain why they had beamed me so easily. Who is your boss? I struggled to my feet, coffee grinds dripping down my shoulders. My dizziness made me feel as if I were flying too close to the flames of per- more
Prometheus. No.
primordial chaos. But I refused to be humbled. Did Zeus send you, or perhaps Ares, a demand an audience? Mickey and Kai looked at each other as if to say, "Can you believe this guy?" Cade picked up his knife. You don't take a hint, do you, Lester? Ugh. I'm going to try to lay down on my stomach to try to finish reading. Hi, Selena. Mickey pulled off his boat a length of bike chain and wrapped it around his fist. I decided to sing them into submissive. They may have resisted my fist, but no mortal could resist my golden voice. I was trying to decide between you send me and an original comprehension. I'm your poetry god, baby. When a voice yelled, "Hey, the hoodlums above us!" The hoodlums turned. Above us, on the second story fire escape landing, stood a girl of about 12. "Leave him alone," she ordered. My first thought that was that Artemis had come to my aid. My sister often appeared as a 12-year-old girl for reasons I never fully understood, but something told me this was not she. The girl on the fire escape did not exactly inspire fear. She was small and pudgy, and dark hair chopped into a messy page boy style, and black cat eye glasses with rhinestone glistening in the corners. Despite the coat, she wore no coat. Her outfit looked like it had been by picked by a kindergarten. Red sneakers, yellow tie, and a green tank dress. Perhaps she was on her way to a costume party, dressed up as a traffic light. Still, there was something fierce in her expression. She had the same upstanding scar my old girlfriend Sian used to get whenever she wrestled lions. Mickey and Kai did not seem impressed. "Get lost, kid," Mickey told her. The girl stomped her foot, causing the fire escape to shudder. "My alley, my rules." Her bossy nasal voice made her sound like she was charting a playmate in a game of make believe. "Whatever that loser has is mine, including his money." "Why is everyone calling me a loser?" I asked weakly. The comment seemed unfair, as even if I was beaten up and covered in garbage, but no one paid me any attention. Kai glared at the girl. The red from her hair seemed to be seeping into his face. "You gotta be kidding me. Beat it, you brat." He picked up a rotten apple and threw it. The girl didn't flinch. The fruit landed at her feet and rolled harmlessly to a stop. "You want to play with food, the girl wiped her nose. Okay, I didn't see her kick the apple, but it came flying back with Dilly Agron hit Clyde on the nose. He collapsed on his rump. Mickey snarled. He marched towards the fire escape ladder, but a banana peel seemed to slither directly into his path. He slipped and fell hard. Ow! He backed away from the I backed away from the fallen thugs. I wondered if I should make a run for it, but I could barely hobble. I also did not want to be harassed, to be assaulted with old fruit. The girl climbed over the railing. She dropped onto the ground and surprising numbness and grabbed a sack of garbage from the dumpster. Stop, Kai did a sort of saluting crowd walk to get away from the girl. Let's talk about this. Maggie groaned and rolled onto his back. The girl pouted. Her lips were chapped. She had wispy black fuzz at the corners of her mouth. I don't like you guys, she said. You should go. Yeah, Kai said. Sure, just. He reached for the money scattered among the coffee grinds. The girl swung the garbage bag. In the mid-arc, plastic exploded, scoring a positive number of rotten bananas. They knocked Clyde flat. Mickey was plastered with so many peels he looked like he was being attacked by Connor's starfish. Leave my alley, the girl said. Now. In the dumpster, more trash bags bust like popcorn kernels, showering Clyde and Mickey with radishes, tomato peelings, and other compost materials. Miraculously, none of it got on me. Despite their injuries, the two thugs scrambled to their feet and ran away screaming. I turned toward my pump-sized Sarah. I was no stranger to dangerous women. My sister could rain down arrows of death. My stepmother, Hera, regularly drove mortals mad so that they would hack each other to pieces. But this garbage-wielding 12-year-old made me nervous. Thank you, I ventured. The girl crossed her arms. On her middle finger, she wore matching gold rings with crescent signets. Her eyes glittered darkly like a crow. I can make that comparison because I invented crows. Don't thank me, she said. You're still in my alley. She worked. She walked in a full circle around me, scrunching my appearance as if I were a prize cow. I can also make that comparison because I used to collect prize cows. You're the god Apollo. She sounded less than awestruck. She also didn't seem fazed by the idea of gods walking among mortals. You are listening then? She nodded. You don't look like a god. I'm not at my best, I admitted. My father Zeus has exiled me from Olympus. And who are you? She smelled frankly of apple pie, which was surprising since she looked so grubby. Part of me wanted to find a fresh towel, clean her face, and give her money for a hot meal. Part of me wanted to fend her off with a chair in case she decided to bite me. She reminded me of the strays. My sister was always adopting dogs, panthers, homeless maidens, small dragons. My name is Meg, she said, short for Megra or Margaret. Margaret, don't ever call me Margaret. And you are a demigod, Meg. She pushed up her glasses. Why would you think that? Again, she didn't seem surprised by the question. I sensed that she had heard the term demigod before. Well, I said you obviously have powers. You chase off those hoodlums with rotten fruit. Perhaps you have a banana kinesis, or you can control garbage. I once knew a Roman goddess, Clauren, who presided over the city's sewer system. Perhaps you're related. Meg pouted. I'm not, I got the impression I might have said something wrong, though I couldn't imagine what. I think I'll just take your money. Meg said, Go on, get out of here. No way. Desperation crept into my voice. Please, I may need, I may need a bit of assistance. I felt ridiculous, of course. Me, the god of prophecy, plague, archery, healing, music, and several other things I couldn't remember at the moment, asking a Cuthbert Dress Street urgent for help. But I had no idea if this child chose to take my money and kick me into the cruel winter streets. I didn't think I could stop her. Say I believe you, Meg's voice took a sing-song tone, as if she were about to announce the rules of the game. I'll be the princess and you'll be the scurry maid. Say I decide to help. What then? Good question, I thought. We are in Manhattan. Mm-hmm. She twirled and did a playful skip kick. Hell's Kitchen. It seemed wrong for a child to say Hell's Kitchen. Then again, it seemed wrong for a child to live in an alley and have garbage fights with thugs. I'd consider walking to the Empire State Building that was the modern gateway to Mount Olympus, but I doubt the guards would let me up to the secret 600th floor. Zeus would not make it so easy. Perhaps I could find my old friend Tron, Tryon the Centaur. He had a training ground on Long Island. He could offer me shelter and guidance, but that would be a dangerous journey. A defenseless god makes for a juicy target. Any monster along the way would cheerfully disembowel me. Jealous spirits and minor gods might also welcome the opportunity. Then there were Chad and Mickey's mysterious boss. I had no idea who he was or whether he had other worth millions to send against me. Even if I decided to made it to Long Island, my new mortal eyes might not be able to find Cronus Camp in its mysterious, magical camouflage valley. I need a guide to get me there. Someone experienced and close by. I have an idea. I stood as straight as my injuries allowed. It wasn't easy to look confident with a bloody nose, coffee grounds dripping off my clothes. I know someone who might help. He lives on the Upper East Side. Take me to him, and I shall reward you. Reward me with what? She danced around, plucking $20 from the trash. I already taken all your money. Hey, she tossed me my wallet, now empty, except for Lester Papa Dolus Jr. driver's license. Meg said, I got your money. I got your money. Meg, I just a girl listening child. I won't be mortal forever. Someday I will become a god again. Then I will reward those who helped me and punish those who didn't. She put her hands on her hips. How do you know what will happen? Have you ever been mortal before? Yes, actually twice. Both times my punishment only lasted a few years at most. Oh yeah? And how did you make it back to being all godly or whatever? Gaudy. Gaudy is not even a word, I pointed out, though my chaotic senses were already thinking of ways I might use it. Usually Zeus requires me to work as a slave for some important demigod. This fellow uptown I mentioned, for instance, he'll be perfect. I do whatever task my new master requires for a few years as long as I behave fine. Allowed back to Olympus. Right now, I just have to recover my strength and figure out how do you know for sure which demigod what which demigod you're supposed to serve, dummy. Well, it's actually obvious. I'm sort of run into them. That's why I want to get to the Upper East Side. My new master will claim my service, and I Metcalf Meg blew me a raspberry, and I claim your service. Overhead thunder rumbled in the gray sky. The sound echoed through the city canyons like divine laughter. Whenever was left of my pride turned to ice water and trickled into my socks. I walked right into that, didn't I? Yep. Meg bounced up and down on her red sneakers. We're going to have fun. With great difficulties, I resist. I resisted the urge to weep. Are you sure you're not Artemis in disguise? I'm that other thing, Meg. Counting my money. That thing you said before, demigod. How do you know? Just do. She gave me a small smile, and now I have a sidekick god named Lester. I raised my face to the heavens. Please, Father, I get the point. Please, I can't do this. Zeus did not answer. He was probably too busy recording my humiliation to share on Snapchat. Cheer up, Mag told me. Who's the guy you wanted to see? The guy on our Upper East Side? Another demigod. He knows the way to a camp where I might find shelter, guidance, food. Food. Meg's ears perked up almost as much as the points of her glasses. Good food? Well, normally I just eat ambrosia, but yes, I suppose. Then that's my first order. We're going to find this guy to take us to the camp place. I sighed miserably. I was going to find it was going to be a very long servitude. As you wish, I said, let's find Percy Jackson. Chapter 3 is when we're going to go on to next time. Even though the chapters are short, maybe a few pages, they are kind of long but short. Probably about that thick. Oh, let me check my phone. Babe, my mom wants to know what's the thing that was behind me. A cart?
Uh, the it's a microwave stand, but I'm using it just to put a few items on. It's a microwave stand that's gonna be
A microwave stand.
but it's gonna be right now. It's a TV and a radio stand.
It is going to be a TV stand and radio stand. Period. I love you, Mama. You know, it's not really Deborah saying hi to me.
It's Selena.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know how Selena is.
Yeah.
Well, I'm ending it for now until next time.